There have been a few bands in the past couple of years who have almost achieved the title of the new Nickelback. Bands like Imagine Dragons or any of those bands who write rock jingles for Jeep Wrangler commercials get their fair share of groans and eye rolls from people, but none of them have been able to maintain the title of worst band ever as long as Nickelback has. The idea that something can objectively be the worst thing ever is completely asinine to me, and it used to piss me off back in the mid-2000s when Nickelback was at the height of their popularity, that people would say, out of the huge ocean of shitty new rock bands, that Nickelback was singularly the worst of all of them, period. Well, I'm here tonight to challenge those assertions with my own opinions because I believe that there were a bunch of shitty new rock bands that flew under the radar in most people's minds. Chad Kroeger was almost like the new rock Jesus who took on all the sins of these shitty new rock bands so that they may live. This is Dancing with Ghosts. For those of you who have just come from an alien planet, let me catch you up to speed right quick. Nickelback started in the 90s, drew large crowds in their native Alberta, signed with Roadrunner Records, released the album Silver Side Up in 2001, This Is How You Remind Me, and they've been a multi-platinum selling arena band ever since. A multi-platinum selling arena band with some of the most cliched hedonistic lyrics about sex, drugs, and rock and roll, some of the most uninspired guitar riffs, some of the most garden variety studio production, all while maintaining a watered-down middle America bad boy image that's just safe enough for mom and the whole family to enjoy, seeing as most of their albums don't even have one of those parental advisory explicit content stickers on it. Nickelback is just about as edgy as a bowling ball. Lead singer and lyricist Chad Kroeger gets most of the credit for cultivating this image in my opinion. He was once quoted as stating, "I would dissect every single song that I would hear on the radio or every song that had ever done well on a chart, and I would say, why did this do so well?" This quote came around the time that the band released their biggest hit, How You Remind Me, in 2001. Clearly, Chad was successful in hyper-focusing on what made other songs successful and modeling his own music after the hits. And I believe anybody who has ever truly hated Nickelback has certainly smelled this sense of desperation a mile away. It's hard to be original and hugely successful at the same time. That's why the bands that have managed to achieve this are etched in the Mount Rushmore of rock royalty. There are only a handful of bands that have managed to garner the critical acclaim and the fan love at the same time. But there were, are, and will be bands that come along that are just as toothless and unoriginal as Nickelback. So why this band specifically get all the hate? Well, it's quite simple. Nickelback shone the brightest amongst the bunch. We're talking about a band that has sold more than 50 million records. A band that has been played ad nauseum for the last 20 years on rock radio. But just to clear my conscience, here is a list of just some of the bands that I feel that are either just as shitty as Nickelback or shittier. Enjoy. On top of that, Nickelback was sucked into the vacuum of meme culture, and that kept them relevant and alive way past their prime. This is why the Chads, Karens, and Boomers of the world are also in on the joke. But I firmly believe in 2021, the joke is fucking dead. Nickelback is such a dead meme that I cringe anytime I hear some plebeian asshole utter the phrase, I hate Nickelback, they suck. Like they just made some profound proclamation. These are the same assholes who yell, "Free Bird!" at a concert in between songs. What you're really saying is, I want you to like me so bad that I'm willing to do whatever society says is cool or acceptable to show the whole pack that I fit in too, guys, right? I'm cool too. If you want people to like you, how about try developing a personality that's unique to yourself and don't do something just because everyone else does. Very much unlike Nickelback, who studied the Billboard charts to copy the hit songs so they could be like everyone else. And just to clarify, no, I don't like Nickelback. But I also don't like any music from that genre or that time period. The mid 2000s was a shitty time for rock music, in my opinion, with most of the bands having that same shitty butt rock sound. But that's just my opinion. But I'm never gonna take one band out of that stable of crap and shit on them specifically. Well, that's a lot of fecal references going on towards the end of this video. But anyway, that's just my opinion on why I think it's corny to still bash Nickelback in 2021. What are your opinions? What are your thoughts? Do you like any bands from that period of time? I bet you do, especially if you're an older white guy like myself, because you were a teenager or early 20-something around that time. And, I like some bands from that time, like Deftones, Tool, Rammstein, but I don't really consider them new rock, so I guess that doesn't really count. But, yeah, let me know what you think about old Nickelback there. I'll say, on a positive note, I guess. I saw a live DVD of them at my friend's house one time, and I say they're a solid live band. Their harmonies sounded on point, and their music sounded like I was listening to the CD, but a lot of people don't like that either. So, I don't know. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you comment below, like, subscribe, share, ring the notification bell, whatever. You don't do it anyway, so I don't know why I bother. That was cynical. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your night.